gentlemen, boys and girls, and children of all ages, welcome back to Movie Torture. I'm Roger, one of the hosts here, who hasn't been around in a while. Um, Guys decided that I wasn't good enough to record anymore, so they decided what's the one night of the week that Roger can't record? Yeah, let's do it on Mondays.
Raj, in our defense, my friend, we have recorded on Mondays many a time. That's been a long-standing tradition here at the Movie Tortures.
I'm sorry. I let something spiritual get in the way.
Yeah, you did. The boss men at the Hopecast tell us we have to record on Mondays. But today we're recording on a Tuesday.
The boss man is pretty strict.
Yeah, he's pretty strict.
So is the guy at the Hope Network, is he a cousin of movie producer guy?
Producer Gary? Oh no, movie producer. He's like, I need that movie podcast needs to be recorded on a Monday. It's good to have you back, Raj. We missed you. MTD weeps every episode you're not here.
That's Hannah when Hannah's not here.
Yeah, and he has a new favorite though, Raj. Have you potted? Have you been on the same episode? Have you been on the same show with Second Lady of Movie Torture, Ashley, yet?
I have not.
Okay, well, she's moved up in the ranks. She's up there now.
She's climbing.
And by the way, that voice you don't hear, that's MTD. He is in the chats, I would suspect, because he was texting me a minute ago going, are we on yet? Are we, Let me see. I'm going to say, hey, MTD, and see if he responds. Jacob, what's happening, my man?
Not a whole lot. It's nice, balmy, nice and summery weather out here. We're doing great.
It's cold, listeners. If you're listening right now, it's 25 degrees where I'm at right now. And I'm in a garage with no air conditioning. So, yeah, that's my current situation. But that's how much that Hopecast wants us to put out. This is one of the number one shows on the Hopecast network. Just dropping that out there for listeners. We're one of the most number one downloaded shows, which is pretty cool. People
that great talent.
Yeah, it's we've lost a lot of downloads since Roger hasn't been on though. So maybe it's a trend.
Yeah, I wonder, is the audience now more Minnesota people or more North Carolina?
I don't know. That's a good question. I think the audience likes to tune in to see you fall asleep during the show. I think that's what their real motive is.
I've never fallen asleep.
MTD, we need you in the chats right now. Does Roger sleep or look like he's sleeping during the show?
See, I do have the Asian eye thing where sometimes my eyes are like really, barely open.
No. That's like with MTD when I was a kid. I'd say, "Are you sleeping, Dad?" He'd be like, "I'm not sleeping. I'm resting my eyes." I get that now. I like the rest of my eyes. My kid's the same way. Roger, Jacob, if they're listening, we want you to like and subscribe. Follow us.
Yes.
On iTunes, Spotify. Leave us a review. MTD says, "I've missed Roger." He has missed you, Raj. And we now have a Hopecast merch store. So if you're listening to this right now and you like some of our inside jokes that we have on the show, go to the merch store. You can see what we have to sell. One of my favorites, Raj, is Producer Gary. That's one of my favorites. You get him in a cowboy hat. I mean,
I have to say the same thing. The only thing that's missing is my high school picture with my long flowing locks.
Well, you send that to me and we'll have a shirt of it, Raj. I would like to get my hands on that. Send me that and we're going to put Roger's long flowing locks. And I'm going to wear it.
I would just wear it around just so I can say, hey, this is what I look like when I have hair.
I want to get one of Gary just to rock around when I come back to North Carolina, I want to have that Gary shirt on. Just to promote Gary.
Yeah.
Listeners, you can't see this, but Gary in the chat last night said to us, is it a power move if I buy a shirt with my face on it and give it to everyone in my family for Christmas?
Yes.
I think that's a solid power move.
That is a power move.
Yeah, that's a power move. We got a lot of that is what's needed.
And what would be even better is for him to autograph on the T-shirt, like in the corner of the picture or something, and then give that to his family.
Oh my gosh!
That's
Wait,
a
I've
double
done that.
power move.
I've done that, Roger. I've done that. I've done that move. I might pull it out again. We've got a Christmas party. I might just wrap it up and give it to somebody. MTD says, "I must admit, I think Roger has fallen asleep."
No, I've done the eye thing like this. I'm not even. I can still see, but it looks like my eyes are closed.
Yeah.
I used to get in trouble in college all the time. They would say, "Mr. Edwards," I would say, "I'm awake. I'm awake." So,
if anyone listening has an idea, go into the Instagram, drop in the messages what kind of shirt you would like us to have. And because I'm thinking we should come up with Minnesota Jacob, just like a Minnesota Jacob shirt. Just say right across the front says Minnesota Jacob. Even though Roger said last time he's now the, what did you say, Roger? It's funny.
I said I'm Jacob, Carolina Jacob. Wasn't that it?
No,
yeah, you did say that. You said, "No, I'm just normal Jacob." You became the Carolina Jacob.
Yep.
Oh, good time. So, what movie are we doing today, Jacob? Do you have an intro for this movie?
I do. Do you want my intro that I made?
I want to hear it. The ladies love that. Listen.
All right.
The one or two of them.
Yeah. Ashley and Hannah.
All right. Let's look in at MTD, Brad, Roger, and Jacob as they're dressed in their very best Elvis outfits to go to Vegas to be cruel, but they don't want to sing the Jailhouse Rock. Let's jump into 3,000 Miles to Graceland.
I love Jailhouse Rock, but you've made me hate it with that. Who would be the coolest Elvis of us four?
Not me.
I think I might be the coolest Elvis of us four at this point. I think I might be. Although
You would be the
MTD
shortest Elvis.
I would be the shortest one. I think MTD would be a good old Elvis. Like
mini Elvis. Yep.
Yeah.
I would be a good ad hit at the end of his career Elvis.
I would like to just walk around a casino in an Elvis jumpsuit going, "Oh, let me go Gilladona's over there. Oh. That's what I like to do. Why did I do Sling Blade while I did Elvis at that point?
Fried potatoes.
Give me some. Wait, Jacob, you've never seen that movie, though.
That's the only thing I've ever seen a Sling Blade.
He's never seen Sling Blade.
There's that piece where he's like, yeah, give me some fried potatoes.
Give me some of them French fried taters.
I need to see it. I need to see it.
MTD, have you seen Sling Blade? Roger, have you seen Sling Blade?
I don't know if I watched the whole movie all the way through.
Oh, it's great, man. MTD comes through, man. He says, "I'm Colonel Parker." You would be a good Colonel Parker. You're the Colonel. You're like half Colonel to midget Elvis. Heartbreak Hotel.
I imagine Sling Blade is much better than this masterpiece.
Oh gosh, Sling Blade's a masterpiece. This one, we got a lot to unpack in this movie. First off, MTD, did you happen to catch the budget for this movie? Did you find a budget for this movie? One of my faves. He says, and while he's looking, he says Sling Blade is one of his faves. He's seen it many times.
Everybody talks great things about it.
When he's having a good day, he's like, "Let's turn on the Sling Blade." It's got a murder weapon in it, just like I gave to Voorhees back in '84. As he looks, this movie, Sling Blade is great. He's still on the Sling Blade thing. He's not coming up with the budget. But I want to know the budget of this because this movie is packed with big name stars.
It is.
It's one of the best, 62 million was the budget for this movie.
I mean, it did have your favorite actress in it, Courtney Cox.
Oh my gosh, man. I cannot stand Courtney Cox in a movie. She
actually was attractive in this one.
This is one of the few. But she was still trashy though. She's a trashy waitress.
This is pre Botox and plastic, addiction surgery.
You don't think she'd had Botox at this point or any plastic surgery in 2001?
She looked really young. So
what
she
did they
still looked human.
What did they spend the $62 million on? Like, who made more, Kurt Russell or Kevin Costner?
Kevin Costner, I bet, made more. But
His
maybe they made
behind. He says,
maybe kind of the same because they were both pretty big people at that point.
Were they? I feel like they both had peaked at that point in the early 2000s.
Yeah,
but
they're still going to get paid.
Oh, I guess they're still getting paid. Christian Slater was a big. David Arquette was coming off. Oh man, he was coming off Ready to Rumble.
Yeah,
he's like, I was in Ready to Rumble. I'm going to do 3,000 miles to Graceland. The title.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was going to say the title alone is cool.
It is.
It's a cool
title.
You hyped. It does get you hyped. You're like, oh, I like Elvis. 3,000 miles. Although I don't think it's 3,000 miles to Graceland from Las Vegas.
No. It was to the boat.
But they couldn't call it 1,942 miles to Graceland.
No.
What is the mileage from Vegas to Graceland? I'm gonna check that out while y'all guys talk about this movie for a minute.
I mean, we do get to start off with, as in the opening credits, this epic mechanical scorpion fight. That has really nothing to do with the movie.
That other than the scorpion being in the movie later on, to me it was like, I was like, what the crap is this? Like, what does this have to do with the movie?
And then what the funny part is, they show the car like run it over, like the real scorpion, and smash it, but the kid yet picks it up and it's still alive. That's one strong scorpion.
That was some of the worst CGI that I've seen in a long time. That CGI was on par with Cocaine Shark.
It was bad.
It was bad.
It was bad.
Graceland is 1,582 miles from Las Vegas.
Okay.
So, I mean, it's half of what they're selling. They're lying to us in the movie torture dad says.
What about how many miles? How many miles from Las Vegas to Mount Vernon, Washington, where he got on the boat?
Oh, okay. I'm going to do that math right now. Vegas to the boat, Mount Vernon,
Washington.
I do love.
You're talking about Washington State, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
1,179 miles. We still haven't hit 3,000 yet.
No.
Yeah.
But it's a cool title. I'm telling you, it's a good title for a movie. I give it. It's a great title. I am a huge Costner fan when it comes to sports. He does good sport movies. I like Field of Dreams, Bull Durham. For the Love of the Game is good.
Draft Day was good. I like Draft Day.
Draft Day is good. He did another one where he was a sports talk radio guy. Oh my gosh. What is that movie, Roger? He was a sports talk radio guy, and he lived next door to a family who lost the dad. And he kind of slips in, and he's like the carefree sports guy, and the daughters are like uptight because they don't like sports, and all he likes is baseball. Now I gotta look. Keep talking, guys. I don't dead air here, but I'm looking.
I don't remember that one.
Oh, it's so good. It's a good movie.
The best part of this movie too is like they make no character development whatsoever. Like Kurt Russell comes rolling in. You have no clue who he is, why. They don't ever get into it, except for that he was not the greatest guy.
Yeah, until him and Courtney are after their cuddle session. He said he hadn't been with a woman in 5.5 years.
That's true.
Yeah, and that's when the prison things kind of brought the.
As during the cuddle session, the little kids coming in there and just robbing them blind.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! First off, I would not want to be in the same room if that's going on. As a kid, I would be mortified. I'd be like, "Oh my
I
gosh!"
guess he was used to it.
He's like, let me go get that money.
Second, he said he hadn't been with a woman in 5 years, but I would follow that up now in modern day and be like, "Have you been with a dude? You've been in prison for 5 years." I'd want to know that. I'd want to know because she's basically. I love. Okay, anytime in a movie they set this up, Roger. You know I'm not going to be easy, right? You know they're easy. I mean, that's code. If they're saying they're not easy, the code in the movie is the next scene they're going to be boinking.
I mean, he does get her a Snickers bar.
MTD brings up a good point. This movie is over 2 hours. Yes,
It is.
It was more like 4. It was more like 4 hours. But imagine, Jacob. You and your darling wife, the first night you're with her married, y'all get to enjoy each other, and then you throw a Snicker bar at her. So thank you.
I think I might be at the courthouse the next day.
You might be moving in with me over here, man. Roger, how would that fly you out? It would not fly. I know your wife. Not flying. They're not even married. He just throws it like I don't get that, man. It's weird to me. It's weird thank you.
She did say she would love some chocolate or something like that. So I mean, he did get her a Snickers bar. He was trying. Snickers,
second best candy bar around in my mind. It's okay, maybe third. It's number one. I don't know. Reese cups are above it.
Nah.
Mr. Goodbar is above it.
Nah. Snickers number 1.
What about Milky Way? You like Milky Way?
And then Snickers almond would be number 2.
Snickers almond?
Almond Joys are number 1. Reese's Fast Breaks are number 2. Hands down.
We're
wasting a top 5.
We haven't done. We need to do one of those. The next fifth Monday we'll do that. MTD, what's your go-to candy bar again? We need to figure this out. So back to this movie. It's weird. They set nothing up. And then Kevin Costner pulls up.
Zag it.
And oh my gosh, man. I feel like that was popular, back in the 60s? Is that a 60s candy?
Yeah. I thought he was going to say Clark bar.
Oh my gosh. MTD's not that old, but he's typing like he might be. MTD, the power move. I call him this morning. I'm like, what you doing? He's like, about to take a nap. I'm like, it's 8:30. When you retire. Oh, he's kidding. Good. I like his sense of humor, man. So Kevin Costner pulls up, Raj. How I don't even think they look like they want to just beat the crap out of each other. Why are they even partners?
Yeah.
I don't understand it. I would not partner with a guy I feel like he wants to kill me.
Yeah, it does not come off like a sweet reunion at all.
Yeah, they sound like they shared a cell together, so maybe it was lovers quarrel or something. Maybe that.
Oh my gosh, what if they had been dating in prison? And
that's how they connected. They were both Elvis fans, and then Kurt Russell started gushing because Kevin Costner possibly could have been related to the King, and then the sparks flew.
They dated, but then once they crossed the line, Kevin Costner was like, I'm not gay, man. And then they just became angry because and that's where he gets his anger rage from. He's like, I'm not like that. No. He does the Ace Ventura thing with the plunger in the bathroom as he's crying. I love Ace Ventura. Yeah, I don't understand this guy's angle. Second, how did he meet those other two guys? Are they from prison, or did he just hook up with dudes on the way and say, "Come on, hop in the car. We're gonna go rob a bank. We're gonna rob a casino."
He's like, "Hey, are you happen to like Elvis in any way? Do you have your own Elvis costume? Because it's a prerequisite to this job."
Did they go buy these costumes? I think these costumes are called nudies. I think they're nudies. I think they're made by this last guy with the last name Nudie.
Okay.
And did they have to go to a specific shop and have them tailored? What's the deal? I mean, it's a lot of work going into meeting Kurt Russell at this nasty diner.
And Kevin Costner is very sensitive about the king because someone makes a joke about the king and he about loses it.
Yeah, David. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's Kurt Russell can look at him and go, I played Elvis in a movie. Like he literally played Elvis in a movie before this. He looks more like Elvis than Kevin Costner. I would think that Kurt Russell had more of a play on The Inheritance than Kevin Costner.
Yeah.
Who had the real sideburns. He had the real
He did.
sideburns. Yeah.
Kevin Costner was losing his hair.
He was so bald when he took that wig off. I'm like, oh my gosh. This guy needs to be on movie torture. We're all losing our hair. So we then fast forward. They're gonna. I mean, it doesn't waste a lot of time. Once they meet, they're getting to the Robin. Like they're going. This has to be one thing. Do you feel like the director Roger was going? We're making an Ocean's 11 right here. Like these guys are going to come in here. We're going to make a more violent Ocean's 11, and they're going to rob this casino. Because I feel like they could take some pointers from Danny Ocean at this point.
Yeah.
And this came out the same year. Like this is the same year, and you would think they didn't even know Danny Ocean. How?
First of all, they're not subtle going in. Costner hits that guy who recognizes him.
Yeah.
And, that kind of attracts a crowd. And then they come out, rather than trying to sneak out, they come out guns a-blazing.
Which no one in the casino is affected at all. Like all this gunfire, everything's going off, and everybody's
it's like nobody was on that side of the casino. No. On the other side.
Well, there was the little person, Elvis, that got taken out, unfortunately.
Yeah. I was waiting for the stray bullets to go over to where the guys were performing on stage and somebody get hit up there.
Right.
Yeah.
How did those guys perform the whole time? Like the whole show, they got on the helicopter we'll get to that, did that, and then the music stops. Like, I don't understand that. You hear one little pop, everybody's like, oh my gosh. In this movie, they're pulling out machine guns and going at it. Like they're like literally killing people on here. It's weird to me. Like it's a.
Okay, and here's what's weird to me is I swear when they you get to the point where they get in the elevator, right, and the one Elvis dude, the one that gets shot, it looks like when they first do it and they shoot him in the head, but then they play it off. He got shot in the neck, like he's still alive. But when they do the shot, if you watch it closely, he gets shot in the head. And then all right, well, let's not kill him right away. Let's change the script here.
We can't kill this guy. We can't. I was telling Jacob this at church, Roger. I feel like this director, who sucks, by the way, and I don't think he's ever done anything since this movie. This might have been his coffin. But I feel like he just wanted to create a bunch of cool scenes, like slow-mo scene. Like there was nothing happening. It was all stupid.
Like those scenes, like those scenes towards the end in the warehouse where their Costner's coming through there, and it's like it's doing the JFK movie, where they would go to field shots and forth between scenes.
Yeah,
and, it was. It was. Just,
we'll get there, but I mean, the end of the movie is great. Ice-T, come on.
Yes. Yeah, I think so. We'll get so they come through. They rob. I don't know what they're robbing money, but
do they ever talk about why this particular casino, like at all? Like,
no, they don't. It's weird, but I'm gonna do something I've never done in the history of movie torture, and I don't want this pod to stop. I gotta go to the bathroom, so y'all continue to talk, and I'll be right back.
He needs to take his mic in there with him.
He does. I don't know if we want that though.
Oh, well, for such an all-star cast, this was such a horrible movie. I mean,
it was not great. Well, then they're all remorseful about the guy in the helicopter, the one that got shot, and then they're like, "Well, he's dead. Let's just chuck him out over the side. Let's just call it good. See ya."
Well, and then to be really sad about him, but then Slater starts to put up a scene there when they're counting the money, and they're pulling guns on each other, and
Over if that guy should still get his half or his quarter. And he's like, why are we splitting up the money with him? He's gone. And
Yeah.
they got, MTD is correct. That is a first of Brad leaving for the restaurant.
And then there's the whole bulletproof vest thing. Like, I'm sorry, if I'm trying to kill a guy, I'm gonna make sure he's not breathing, rather than just shoot him twice and walk off. So,
which in most cases what it is, but every movie they do that, where it's always they just hit him in the body, they have the bulletproof vest on, and they're just fine.
Yeah.
But you knew that kid was going to get involved again with it, because before that part happens, they're trying to divide the money, they hide the money in the ceiling, but the kid's watching them the whole time. Like, right away, I knew that money was going to go missing.
Yeah.
That kid was taking that money.
Yeah. Yeah. I had a feeling that him and the mom, Courtney Cox, had like that kind of set up with every time she played off like it was him, but I think she had taught him what to do.
Like, they were in cahoots the whole time.
Yeah.
And then they where was it? I did like that line they said when they were talking about being a family, and he's like, we're like the Osmonds, we don't get along or something like that. I was like,
yeah.
What? I was like, that's a pretty dysfunctional family. They're over here shooting each other over who gets half this money. Yeah. Where was that money supposed to go? Because he's like, no one's going to take it, so he's going to keep it for himself.
Yeah, that didn't make sense. Like, it'd been like if he said, well, it's going to go to his wife and family, but he's going to get his part,
That's what this whole movie was all about, is like they would go to a scene that needed explanation, but never explained it. They just left it.
Yeah.
It was just done.
Just kind of kept it going.
They're like, he doesn't get the money, but don't say, hey, we're going to go send it to his family, we're going to go take care of him. He was just like, no, you ain't getting the money. I'm going to keep it for myself.
Yeah.
And not spend it.
I thought it was interesting, too. I thought the kid did a pretty good job. I mean, in the movie, it looks like he's not done much since,
You're right. That was my whole thing. Like, the kid was probably the best part of this movie.
Yeah.
Like, his whole thing, he was almost like more of a mastermind criminal than they were. For sure.
Yeah. And I thought the redhead, the Megan girl, looked like a lot like Julianne Moore, like a young Julianne Moore.
Yes. Yeah. That whole scene was just weird too. He goes to the gas station, kills the guy, and then she's like, well, can I just come with you?
Yeah.
Did you wash your hands, Brad?
I did. I'm back. I was about to crap myself, and I had to go, man. It was either I could have done a power move, and a true podcaster would have just pooped himself while he did the show.
You had an opportunity right then and there to pull a Hannah. You could have just went a little bit off camera right on the garage floor. That would have been a power move.
I'm over here, guys. No worry. Yeah, my stomach was killing me and still doesn't feel great. And I'm like, I don't think I can hold this out much longer. I'm going to have to go or make a decision. So MTD texted me and said, are you coming back? I'm like, about crap myself. So, yes, I was running.
I was in here. Max, bring the broom. Get the dustpan.
I'm not cleaning it up. Max will clean it up.
Brad was running with the runs.
Oh, I was definitely. Where are we at now? Did we get to talk about the helicopter yet?
We talked about the helicopter.
Oh, God, I hate I missed that. How would you okay, let's think about it. I just want to get back to it because I missed it. We're up there. I'm dead. You got did y'all bring this up?
No, laughing at what MTD said.
Yeah.
I wish Hannah was here. Yeah, that is funny. Hannah would get me on that. What was that? So I'm dead. Are y'all just throwing my dead body off the helicopter? Is that what we're doing in our friendship, or is are you gonna rest in peace me? Because at this point, it's rest in pieces. Because this guy's getting splattered.
I would at least go over a body of water and throw you over the body. You would sink and wouldn't bounce off the desert ground.
That's true.
Yeah, they could fly over Lake Mead over there. That's big. They could.
And they never said anything. Did they ever find the body?
No, I mean they just ignored that. Nothing.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's not a way to end it, right? For this poor guy, like you just throw him. I'm watching this. I'm like, they're gonna throw him off.
You're kind of a liability at that point, so I'm just kicking you.
Why don't you just? Yeah, he dies in the helicopter. I get it, but Kevin Costner cares about him. I guess maybe. I know. No, he throws him off. He's an evil dude. So where are we all at now? We've talked about that. Where are we at?
Well, I just thought of your T-shirt now. I think we need to do a picture of a roll of toilet paper and say, "I got to go, fellas."
No,
that's pretty funny.
No, it's got to be him really nervously looking at the camera, going, "This is the first time this has ever happened."
I've never had to.
That's it.
When we were in
Brad saying that this is a first underneath it.
This is the first time this ever happened.
when we were in the studio, Raj, back in the day, I did get up and go pee one time in the middle, and Gary stopped the recording. I got like, "Why'd you stop it, man?" Keep talking. I don't have to be here.
So
where are we at?
We were kind of talking about the gas station scene where Kevin Costner pulls up to this gas station, and it's that guy, the really creepy guy, and the girl, and he shoots the guy, kills him, and the girl's not freaked out by this. She's like, "Can I come with you?" He's like, "Go get your bubble gum." I'm like, what?
What happens to her? I kind of did she just disappear, or did she kill her?
Off to a motorcycle gang.
Yeah.
Now the lady that played her, I looked her up. She has been on another movie, and we talked about this before, Roger. She was on Halloween Resurrection, an old movie torture episode. Yeah. This girl she was kidnapped with another guy back in the day, and she's not in Hollywood anymore. Looks really rough, but she was kidnapped. Like, she doesn't look anything like she looked in this movie, and beaten and tied up with another actor. Somebody kidnapped her and another actor. Really weird.
Wow.
Weird story. So yeah, would you get in the car with a guy that just murdered? Now I guess that guy was abusive, so she probably was happy he was dead, right?
I'm assuming that's kind of what they were leading to. Yeah.
But I feel like she's like happy, but she doesn't realize she's getting in the car with Satan himself anyway, right?
Okay, so when the bikers come up and you don't see her, like they're doing the shot of the car coming down the road.
Yeah.
You only see one person in there.
They're cuddling in again.
Yeah. Did you think she was gone from the car, or did you know that's what was going on?
I guess they were doing it right. I mean, that's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
Kevin Costner.
She was giving him a happy ending.
I suppose it. See, Elvis died on the toilet, much like I had to go to earlier. But Kevin Costner is going to die of an STD because he doesn't care. Like
he doesn't. We haven't even touched on, which makes this just a masterpiece of a movie, is at this point, Courtney Cox is now with Homeboy.
David Arquette, yeah.
No, he's not with. She's with oh my goodness, is it Russell? Yeah, because she's going with him to get the money washed now.
Oh, okay.
They're a tag team now, and that's why Kevin Costner's tearing off because he's trying to catch them before they get the money washed. Because they're now a big item together, apparently, with this kid.
Did we talk about how Kevin Costner didn't want to split the money, by the way? Have we got to that point yet?
We did talk about that, yeah.
That was the best part of the movie. Like, I don't understand why he's doing that. Like, I don't get it. But the kid, I think the kid's the best part of this movie. I mean,
yes.
We said that too while you were gone.
Yeah, he's the best part of this movie. And he's in a different movie, by the way. Like, I would rather see a movie focused on this diabolical kid than Kevin Costner.
It basically... Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
And if we were all... Let's say Jonathan dies and we just robbed a casino. We're splitting Jonathan's cash. Like, we're not just saying that's for him and just burning it. Like Jonathan's gone, so we're going to take his cash.
Coster was going to take it.
Oh, well, okay. Then I guess I guess we'll split it.
Well, this whole thing,
MTD's like, I'm taking that. Give it to me.
Right, because his plan was to kill everybody, as it is in every movie. Like, there's a bank robbery or whatever. There's 4 or 5 guys, then one guy's going to kill them all so he can keep all the money.
Do you think movie torture cast could successfully do a heist?
Hands down, no. It would fumble very quickly.
Who would be? What would Gary play in the heist? He could play the kindly kid who people feel sorry for as he's walking in. He'd be like, "Hello, kind sir," and he says, "I'm little Gary."
What is he,
like,
Oliver now?
Yeah, and they're like, "Oh." Meanwhile, Roger and Jacob are sneaking in behind and taking photos.
Hold on one second. I got you pick the 2 biggest guys in this cast. You're like, they're sneaking around.
MTD's in the van. He's like watching everything going on. I'm watching you.
What we would do is we would be dressed as security guards.
There you go.
Like mall cop. and that would be our way is to get in the building.
Okay, so we're getting into Vegas. Y'all are mall cops. Gary's little Oliver. Hello, kind sir. And he's like walking up. And Jonathan's this big guy that's like betting on sports. Like he's the real loud guy. I got $20 on the Panthers right now. And he's like really loud. That's the character he's playing as a distraction. Then I'm coming in as a socialite in a tux.
You're coming in dressed as a chimp monkey cop.
Oh my gosh.
No, he would come in with this hot dog suit.
Into the casino? Well, somebody's got to do the robbing. Okay, so we're leaving this robbing up to Hannah and Ashley and Blum.
They would never expect them.
We got Blumhouse, Trent, and Hannah and Ashley doing the robbing in this. I don't know, man. I feel like
they would get the money and then leave us all behind and take it. Is what would happen.
I feel like Hannah and Ashley could be the Anne Hathaway and Rebel Wilson in The Hustle. They'd be hustling us the whole time, right?
100%. 100%.
And MTD, never trust a woman. She's going to take your money.
See, what I see is
this is hilarious what MTD said.
Hannah would come in riding an ATV into the scene.
Oh my gosh. Jonathan needs to get home to put kids to bed. He's like, I can only play this part till 8 o'clock. I got to go home and put the kids to bed.
I got 20 minutes, guys. We got to go.
Let's hurry this up. My connection is spotty. Hannah's riding the ATV into the casino with the machine gun. Yeah. And Ashley's doing stand-up comedy on the stage. That's right. They're all marked. They're all for us, though. They're helping us steal money from the Riviera, which is no longer in existence, by the way.
It's true.
It is gone.
The plans could work.
I think Movie Torture could put together something to be,
We're definitely all going to prison afterwards, but...
for sure. Now, would we go to the same prison? Because... I feel like if all of us were in the yard together, it'd be kind of fun. We could just talk all the time.
Brad thinks prison's a clubhouse.
Yeah. MTD.
Do so many fun activities.
Wait, is MTD, if we do this, is MTD the Morgan Freeman of our prison? I'll tell you. Who's the Andy Dufresne? Who's clawing? Who's drilling holes in the wall to try to get out of prison?
MTD is the smartest one in the whole group, so he just disowns us all and gets away scot-free.
He drives the van
as we're all in prison.
and then I'm like, "Hey MTD, can you bring me something? Can you bring me like a burger? You owe me $50, and I'll do it." Nothing's free in life, kid.
He's like, "But MTD, you took all the money."
He takes over the podcast. It's Movie Torture with MTD now. You hear my voice. It's working. I like this. I like this, Raj. We're all at like summer camp in prison together. Me, you, Roger, Blum, Ashley. No, Ashley and Hannah be at their own prison.
They would be. They would
Yeah.
not be in our prison. Yes.
Yeah, but then here's the cool thing. I get out of prison after 5 years. I come home like, baby. Kristen's like, I'm like, it's been 5 years.
You ain't getting 5 years for robbing a casino. I think you're getting a little more than 5 years.
He'd be napping. He'd spend his whole time in prison just napping. Somebody wake MTD up. I'd be like, it's been 5 years, Kristen. And she's like, it's going to be 5 more, boy. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So yeah, I like the idea of us in prison. Where are we at in this crappy movie? Where are we at?
We can just say that the movie basically is 2 different movies because it goes from like this high intense, blowing everything up to love story very quickly.
Yeah, Roger, did you feel like Kevin Costner and Kurt Russell liked each other in real life in this movie? I don't feel like they liked each other. I feel like they're in 2 different movies. Kurt Russell's not in the same movie as Kevin Costner. It's weird.
Yeah, it's not great.
Yeah.
Its movie is such a sideways movie. And I
have to say the Courtney Cox like acting when she's actually legitimately trying to be sad because her kid gets like taken and she's fake like trying to real cry. It was terrible. It was terrible.
And this is Courtney Cox during Friends. Friends is still on at this point. She is slumming it in this movie, man. I don't know why her agent was like, "You need to get in this movie," because it's weird to me. I wanted to see more Elvis and saw no Elvis except the first part.
Yes,
and they could have used a lot of Elvis. They should have used nothing but Elvis music in this movie.
Yeah, see, that was one of the things I was glad they didn't do because I was just thinking, oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to listen to Elvis.
You don't like Elvis?
Nah, I'm not a big Elvis fan.
I like Elvis.
So, yeah.
Is there anything else we want to add about this movie? This is
basically, then it comes down to, I mean, we got to talk about Ice-T. Ice-T makes a big cameo in the movie because he's like supposed to be this high caliber, like hitman to get rid of Kurt Russell. But they go into this big giant shootout. Kurt Russell once again gets shot by close range shotgun, but magically is wearing a vest again that you figure out as he's carted off to the ambulance that Courtney Cox steals with the kid, and they live happily ever after as they whisk off into sunset.
They move into their trailer because they have trailer trash written all over them. Like there's what do you think they do on the week? Do you think they go to the Golden Corral and eat wherever trashy town they're living in? Like, I mean, what is their plans? What do they do in normal life when they're not, robbing banks and running from field of fish?
They got on the boat at the end, so I guess they're right.
They have all the money still,
yeah,
because they put newspaper in the bag, so it wasn't even the real money.
But I feel like this is such an unbelievably stupid movie. Like there's
Ice-T hanging upside down.
This is Crystal's words. Why does Brad keep doing this to you? Why do you keep watching these horrible movies?
Well, I mean, in your defense, you've taken a few Mondays off, so you haven't had to sit and grind through them.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, it's movie waterboarding, Roger.
This was one I had not watched before this. I knew of it. It's seen scenes from it, but never. I was smart enough not to have watched it till now.
I mean, we're going to recap this. Is there any good reviews is there any bad reviews, Jacob, you found? There's got to be a bunch of bad reviews.
I got some. Just give me 1 second.
Roger, you have a bad review for us?
I'm looking right now.
And then I'm going to do my 5-star Amazons.
Oh, actually, let me go.
As y'all are looking, I'll do a 5-star Amazon here. And this is from Andy. 3,000 miles to Graceland, Jacob and Roger. This was written July 15th, 2024.
Oh, man.
What in the world, man? Andy writes, one of my favorite movies. Funny little homage to It Happened at the World's Fair scene where the little boy kicks Elvis in the shins. I won't spoil it for anyone. Please, Andy, you can spoil it. But if you know, you know. Anyway, it's just a fun little twist on Elvis impersonators, and they couldn't have gotten 2 better leading men than Kurt Russell and Kevin Costner playing bad guy Elvises. Yeah, but they make you want to take a shower when you're done watching this because they're just disgusting in this movie. The whole movie looks disgusting. I like how Rena Hayden writes September 15th, 2024. She writes, okay, 5 stars, and then writes, okay. The energy it must take to write a review after watching a movie that's 25 years old. Amazoniac says, delivers a knockout punch in the jaw. While some may not have seen what I call the earlier version of 3,000 Miles of Graceland, the premise of the script is quite obviously loosely based on Jules Dassin's crime movie, blah, 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 blah. And this guy writes a book. I can't even read it. He just loves this movie. I don't understand. I don't want to hang out with any of these people that love this movie.
Well, the consensus negative review on this movie says, while the premise sounds promising, the movie turns out to be a tedious and unnecessarily violent heist movie that's low on laughs and leaves no cliche unturned.
Well, it's funny you said that. I read on the trivia that Kurt Russell wanted this to be a comedy and Kevin Costner wanted this to be an action-packed movie. So the producers let them each edit a version that they wanted.
Oh,
and I guess Kevin Costner won because this movie ain't funny.
Yeah.
I got a couple funny bad reviews.
Oh, okay.
This one's from David. It says, "Hey guys, congrats. This is the worst movie I've ever seen." This one says, dreadful over 2 hours. A criminal waste of time. Some of the worst needle drops I've heard in a movie in a long time.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's pretty much
That's pretty much what we got.
really even crappier than I thought. And that is really crappy.
I like how they used the word crappy a couple times.
We talked about the budget for the movie. We didn't talk about the box office.
What was the box office?
18.7 million.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
I saw this on video. I was like, I'm going to rent this movie because it's got Elvis. And I was just disappointed. Like, there was not a lot of Elvis.
Hold on. I think Ashley might have wrote this review.
Okay, what is it?
I could only watch 40 minutes of this. I will maybe give it another try one day.
You screenshot that and post it in the text string for Ashley and say, did you write this review on 3,000 Miles to Graceland? And then add a mazel to it like she does. mazel. Jacob, a movie torture, a movie gold.
This is 100% movie torture. This thing was garbage. It felt like a 5-hour movie I was watching. It was gross.
I'm kind of sad. Yeah, Roger, movie torture, movie gold.
Oh, torture. Yeah. Yeah. My life is no better after watching this at all, other than it's over with. So, not great cast, but nothing came of it. You know, it's kind of like I'm trying to think of sports. You know, that great team is put together that ends up just bombing.
Like the Eagles when Vince Young said it's the dream team, and then they just sucked.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah, for me, I'm sad because the month of December is ending. This is the last movie of December, and we've had great movies. It's been a good month. I think it's been one of the best months we've had movie-wise. And then we end it with a turd, and it kind of sucks. I'm just like, oh my gosh, this movie.
We've ended it with a turd twice in the same recording.
Oh, yeah, literally and figuratively. This movie's so bad it made me go take a dump in the middle of it. I'm like, hey, no, I just gonna take a dump. I don't even want to talk about this movie anymore. This movie, hands down, one of the worst movies I've ever watched on this show. I hated this movie. It is so dumb and stupid, and it's long. I would watch Troll 2. I would watch. I might would watch Batman and Robin over this. At least they have jokes in that movie. This movie is horrible. It is so bad. I never want to watch it again. It's terrible. There's so many other better movies we watched on this podcast for sure, and that this one ranks up there as the worst. Roger, you'd agree, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is up there with Son of the Mask, the backup plan, which I hated, and
Shark movies.
the shark movies are better because they don't try to be something they're not. Roger, this movie was supposed to be stylistic and like, you know, they were putting this movie together going, this is going to be a hot cast and we're going to shoot some scenes. It's going to be amazing. And it sucked. The shark movies are like, this movie's going to suck, but we're going to make it.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not, it's like the Stupids we did with Hannah. The Stupids don't try to be anything but stupid. And I like that. They know who they know their lane. They know their lane, and it's one of the best movies we watched on this show. This one, the worst. It's up there, and it makes me never want to watch a Kevin Costner or Kurt Russell movie again. If this was the first Kevin Costner Kurt Russell movie I'd ever watched, I would not check back into any of their movies. I'd be like, yeah, I'm good. I don't need it.
Yeah.
I'll just go take a dump. I'm good.
After the careers they had, and this is the movie they do after that, like the movies behind them, I'm like, this is garbage.
Yeah, you got Tombstone, you got JFK and Field of Dreams,
Dances
you
with
got
Wolves, like,
Tango
all
and
kinds of-
Cash, Captain Ron, you've got Overboard, and then they do this.
Yes.
Doesn't make sense to me. I don't know, man. They must have got a payday in this. That $62 million, they must have got $12 million a piece for this movie. They better have got more than $5 million that Tom Arnold got for Stupids. I will say that. Yeah, but that's a wrap, boys. Make sure you follow us on the Instagram. Go check out our merch store, Hopecast Network. You can find it on Bonfire. And for Minnesota Jacob, for my good friend Roger, my name is Brad. And for MTD, this is Movie Torture. We'll see you next time. Oh, wait, before we go, I was tricking you. We're going to be in January, worst of 2024. Just teeing you up on that, guys. So get excited for that. I'll see you next time on Movie Torture. Oh, my God. I'm glad we got that one done. That was a sucky.